Well, good morning folks, Graham here. So today we're doing a Jacka HD, not a J, a HD heavy duty install on a 2007 Jayco Swan. So last night before dinner I spent a few hours getting the roof up because it's got one broken cable, and the number on the left is what it was, the number on the right is what it now is. As you can see, Jayco's quality of having all the same heights is pretty slack, but that's alright. So I've gone around, it took me about, I don't know, 3/4 of an hour I suppose. This one wasn't too bad, the right front, but you want them all the same. It's just better, you know. I'd like to make sure they're all the same, all very close, within a couple of mil. Jayco are happy within 20 mil. Well, I like them a bit closer than that. So I've propped them all up at the right stage. Gone inside and I've uncovered underneath the lounge. As you can see, there's the original early, and yes, we do have a broken cable. The left-hand front cable is broken, and look at the size of this stuff. It's tiny. I do know that Gulfstream do make them with heavier cables. This does the job, but slightly heavy wouldn't be too bad. So at the back, obviously, that has the fold down. People call it pantry, but it's actually a wardrobe. And you put all your pantry stuff in, they'd fall over everywhere. So I moved that out of the way. I've opened up as well. All relatively straightforward. I had to take the front piece out of here because there's a frame that goes through here, and you can't get the lifting arm in through the guide tube with the worm drive for the Jacka system to go in, but we'll show you that later. So from here on, it's a matter of pulling out the old, which will probably take me an hour or so, a couple of hours maybe, but that's alright. Van's in pretty good nick. Obviously it's got a few problems with the fly screens, which is sort of understandable in a van this age. Owner's looking at doing it up a bit later. They're heading up to Queensland in a month or two. So the rest is in good nick. The campus is in good nick. Ceiling looks good. Everything looks really nice. It's pretty good. But anyway, we'll keep on going. Well, getting stuck into the Swan. Here's a few issues I see quite a bit. I've got the two front lifting springs and guides and all that out. This one's the top, and this one was the bottom of the other one. So there's a bit of a woof in that. And something that does happen quite often is this. As you can see, that one there's been welded, and the others haven't. So that one's actually been replaced once before. Gulfstream do exactly the same. They use stainless steel and they actually TIG weld them close so that this sort of thing doesn't happen. I had a Jayco once where she thought she'd broken the cable, but this was the result, and it took about 10 minutes to fix, so it was pretty good fix. Anyway, I think it's about time for a cup of coffee and a sit down for 10 minutes, and then we'll back into it. Beautiful day here in downtown Tangan, by the way. Living the dream. Cheers. So all the old is out, ready for a bit of a clean. And we're going to do, some of you may know this and some of you may not, we're going to do an Alexander Mark Miles clean. Reference to a knobhead who I did an install for. Anyway, he cleaned it within an inch of its life. several times. So I'm just going to clean up this through here, and then might have a bit of tucker, and then we'll start looking at putting the new gear in. So here we have all the old stuff out. A little bit of dirt and grime, but that's alright. A few holes there will fill up later, as you can see there. That's where the bolts went through. Nuts and bolts still here, ready to go. And this is down the back. Someone's been here before, replacing something, I think. Probably a pulley down the bottom there. It had a big wedge of timber under it, which is not factory. And as I said, we'll give this a Alexander Martins clean so that we can eat lunch off it, and then we can start doing the reinstall of the new system. Exciting, very exciting. So here we have all the hardware in. Front passenger side, correct. Having a nice vacuum out, nice and clean. The front driver's side, there's a few little holes I've got to silicone up where the original other bolts went through. All good there. Come around here, this is where the battery is. So I need to run the harnesses through there, which is no problem. Up the back, here again we got the driver's side rear and the passenger side rear. Just got to do the wiring here as well, and then put this little seat pad together, which is only screwed together. I might tidy up that electrical there a little bit. It's just hanging free, which is a bit dodgy, so we'll do a bit of a tidy up on that too. So we'll get into the wiring. Everything's colour coded, reds, greens, blues and yellows. They will come in their little packages. Really neat stuff, really neat stuff. So it's just a matter of running these through and connecting them up and put the controller in, which is over here. Can't go wrong. It's all specific to front and back, so on and so on. Pretty easy. So we'll get into it. So here we have a standard lifting arm from Jayco with the nylon in between. Very old product, soon to be superseded, but anyway. This particular Swan has problems with a couple of them, so we're going to replace them. One thing I'd like to do is the very small one that goes inside. This is actually where the push rod pushes up the system, so it's from the bottom of the smallest one, and as you can see it has a little punch on one side, two sides only. I have had these fall off during installation or down the track, fall out, and they actually go down to the bottom of the well where this is and prevents the system from closing down. So I like to get an extra punch and hammer and punch another couple of sections on the opposite sides to make sure that this nylon is not going to fall out. So I'll do that shortly. So there we go. Used a punch, decent size hammer. Gave the existing ones a bit of a hit, and also did the other two corners sides as well. So there's no way that's going to fall out, and hopefully that'll solve our problem. I also stick something through here. I'll just use a cable tie, which I'll cut off as I install it, so that that centre section doesn't fall right through, because once it falls right through it's a pain in the ass to get it back. Anyhow, we'll see how we go. So here we have the left rear. As you can see, it does have a fair woof in it, but 99% of the time it's only the very top one because it's very thin, and usually there's only a little bit of overlap between the little one and the secondary one. The push rod that pushes the push spring that pushes the roof up actually pushes from the bottom of the small one. So therefore there's not a whole lot of overlap, which is a weak point. And obviously that's quite evident there. I could reverse it around, put it in the other direction, but seeing it's out and lifting arms aren't that expensive and the time to take us to change them is not long. And I just happen to have 4 here that arrived from Jacka yesterday. Pretty good service. I ordered them late Wednesday. They would have been shipped from Sydney probably Thursday morning, or possibly even yesterday morning, and I had them by 2. That's not bad from Sydney to Albury-Wodonga area. So we'll get on to replacing this one. So I got the left rear ready to go back in. As you can see, there's 2 little tiny holes at the bottom. The lifting arm sits on a bracket which is screwed to the frame, and then this is screwed, the bracket is screwed to this to hold it in place so it doesn't move up and down. Pretty simple really. Other brands, e.g. Goldstream, you have to require to take off that whole top plate because they are actually screwed by what they call winged uprights, and they are underneath where it mounts. Jayco do a bit different. In my honest opinion, it's a lot easier. That's for sure, because the old one just lifted straight out and this one will just go straight in. Just finishing up the Jacka install in the 07 Swan. This is the left rear. As you can see, we'll try to keep it neat and tidy. Cleaned her out a couple of times with the vac. Very happy with that. Looks really good. Sorry about that. So up she goes. I've never actually timed it, but it probably takes a couple of minutes. Probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3.5 minutes, I don't know. Anyway, up she goes. All doing it nicely. This is so quiet. I wish mine was just quiet. I've got one of the original ones with the smaller drive tubes and springs. It's okay, Toby, it's only me. Daughter's here with a little dog. He's just saying g'day, doing his job. Anyway, up she goes. She will get to, depending on how much friction's on the masts, to which one goes up and down. You can see the top inner one, or the top one's gone up first. Now the second one's coming up. Sometimes, as in the one down the other end, you'll see that the bottom one just started to come up then. Whereas you look on this other one over here, left front, you'll see that the centre section has gone up so far, so has the rear one. Doesn't really matter. That one's still going up. It all depends on how much friction. A bit of squirt of silicon, not WD-40, silicon. WD-40 leaves a film which builds up. Silicon doesn't. I don't know, whenever you feel like it. Maybe when you get home and you want to lift her up and clean her out, give them a squirt then. I just give it a bit of a squirt and away she goes. So yeah, there we go. Still going up. Hasn't got far to go now. They do go up at different rates. Lift complete. How about that? So it's gone up to its height that we set it at. Didn't have to adjust any of the limit switches, which was good. They're usually straight out of the box, they're pretty close. So from there you can just press back, takes you back to the start, and then just turn them off. You can leave them on. The screwing does go off after a certain amount of time, but you might as well turn it off, that way you're not using battery power. So there we have it. Jacka HC system fitted to a 2007 Jayco Swan. Hope the owners like it. Gives you a great peace of mind, as I said. Anyway, thank you all for watching.